Hello, I am Rodrigue Langrenier and this is Stenusys channel. Stenusys is a software engineering tools and consulting company located on the French Riviera. In this video, we are going to present the key elements of Scrum in less than 7 minutes. There are many things to present for such amount of time, so get ready for a big load of information. So let's get started. So Scrum is an agile product development framework. It is not really a project management methodology, despite what many people say. But you can use Scrum in a project if it consists in building a product. As any agile framework, it is adaptable to change. It is as well meant to deliver the highest possible value the team can come up with, value that is reassessed on a regular basis. Scrum specifically relies on 4 pillars that we are going to explore. First, well-defined ceremonies or events. Second, roles that will have specific responsibilities while executing Scrum. Third, self-organization of the team. And fourth, a regular tempo that dictates the whole life of the product. So okay, that is extremely high level, but how does it work in practice? Actually, it all starts from a product vision. Ideas, concepts, scope, things like that you have assembled. Then you should assign this vision to a product owner or PO. Starting from there, the PO will incarnate the product. You then have a task to translate this vision into a product backlog, which contains whatever you need to do to fulfill the vision. These elements are called product backlog items or PBI, and they are ranked by business value. The vision will evolve continuously, and the product owner will discuss with stakeholders to keep the backlog aligned. In particular, the value of an item can change at any moment, resulting in a new prioritization of the backlog. A PBI is often expressed as a little story, so much that we use both words seamlessly. It is a good idea in a story to express both the need and the solution, as well as who it is intended to. The acceptance criteria are used to clarify the scope or to specify additional constraints, like non-functional requirements. Apart from the role of product owner, there is the development team that will build the product and the Scrum Master that will coach the team on a daily basis. The development team is multi-skills, with a common will to share knowledge as much as possible. So the word developer should be seen as broad as participating to crafting the product. The Scrum Master and the product owner protects the team from external interferences to let the team focus on productive tasks. The Scrum Master is a servant leader for the Scrum team. Inside of the team, he is a coach, helping the development team and the product owner to run the framework. Outside of the team, he helps the organization to interact with the Scrum team. He helps as well with other Scrum Masters to increase the overall efficiency. Globally, we can say that his role is to ensure that Scrum is well understood and applied. As an example, a Scrum Master may have to remove impediments the team has encountered, animate ceremonies, or help the product owner write good stories. It is a very important role, sadly often badly implemented. The product owner owns the product vision, represented by its backlog. He helps the team build the product increment from the backlog. He approves that this increment is eligible for being sent to the users. He organizes the review with the stakeholders and integrates the feedback into his vision. This cycle, vision, product increment, feedback, is called a sprint, and it lasts 2 to 4 weeks. It is the way Scrum proposes to maximize value. It provides a good balance between the possibility to focus on a concrete increment and fast feedback integration. To explain the roles in further details, let's have a look at how they interact during a sprint. To start a sprint, the whole team will sit together to decide what to work on. This is the sprint planning. After an explanation of the different stories at the top of the backlog from the product owner, the development team will determine what they think they can achieve during the sprint. This will turn into the sprint backlog. Commonly, the sprint backlog is represented on a sprint board that is used by the team to track progress. The columns of the sprint board are defined by the development team, aligned to its practices. During the sprint, the status of each story will evolve all along this board. The last column is very important. It represents when the story is ready. There is an agreement with the product owner called the definition of done that has to be respected for the story to be acceptable at the end of the sprint. On a daily basis, the development team meets to organize itself on the work to perform. Each developer will provide an update on what he has been doing and what he proposes to do. The goal is less to give a status than to discuss collectively about how to progress. The product owner and the Scrum Master may attend to the meeting if the development team sees value, but this is not compulsory. At the end of the sprint, all done user stories are proposed to the product owner as the product increment. This is reviewed in another meeting called the sprint review. Each proposed story is demonstrated. The team discusses in particular how the story meets the definition of done. The product owner may accept or reject the story. A rejection should be very rare and not a surprise, as it happens only when the development team and the product owner diverge in their appreciation of these criteria. This should be identified earlier in the sprint. The last ceremony is the retrospective, where all members discuss what went well and what could be improved in the ways of working of the team. Ideally, it comes with concrete actions to implement right away for the next sprint. This self-inspection is very important for the health of the team. Then the team can run another cycle, and this goes on indefinitely or as long as the product lives. It is crucial that the pace is bearable, as it is absolutely opposed to the rush mode we often see at the end of conventional projects. And that concludes our first review of the Scrum methodology. The key takeaway for us. First, Scrum is a product development methodology. It can be used to run a project, but the notion of product is absolutely central. Second, it is strongly based on interpersonal relationships and direct communication, with some ceremonies to run. These ceremonies are important, and their purpose is not to simply provide a status. If it is not helping, it is usually not done well. Third, it gives you the best value the team can come up with, thanks to the fast feedback loop. Fourth, Scrum is meant to let people focus on doing work for the duration of a sprint. Interferences have to be avoided, and the protection can be necessary, typically from the Scrum Master. Fifth, Scrum is proposed as a consistent framework. It is not going into too much details to let you work the way you want, but what is described is necessary to make it work. And last point, if you do it well, everybody will like it, the business, the customer, and the team. Thanks for your attention. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to go further about Scrum or other software development topics, you can visit our blog. You can visit as well our website, stenusys.com, for tools and consulting offers on the subject. See you in the next video. Cheers!